Outer Banks is back for its third season with more thrilling adventures with our favorite pogues.
Jonathan Davis and Carlacia Grant joined us to talk about their experience shooting the show and what to look out for this season.
I'm Savannah Jones.
And I'm Rex Ravita.
And this is KRLD's What to Watch.
So our first question is, how has your experience been growing up together as a cast, and what was it like getting back together to film this new season?
It's great, it's like we were a really tight-knit group on this show, friends turned to family, and I think like every time we kind of come together and we're in these scenes together, with each other, it's like going back to school or something.
We don't really take time off from hanging with each other. So, even, when we're not filming and we're back in LA, we still spend time. So, we just, add work into it.
Yeah, now it's just back
now
to
we have
school.
then we have to, go to bed on
over.
time because we have to wake up early.
It's 5:30 a.m. calls.
If we're lucky.
Yeah.
I've been hit with, the earliest has been, 2:48 a.m.
Oh, my goodness.
Call.
You hit that makeup chair soon, quick, though.
Yeah.
You're the first one in it.
Always the first person in hair and makeup.
And the glam looks so good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, amazing.
So basically, y'all got to grow up together, so I know that's pretty cool as well. So, Jonathan, we know that you're from Houston, so how does it feel to be back in Texas?
I'm always happy to come back to my home state. It's like a lot of love out here from my city and from the whole state. Honestly, it's like I'm just happy to be in this whole situation and get Whataburger. 'Cause there's no Whataburger.
Of
now.
course, gotta have the Whataburger.
Have to
every time.
Have to.
So.
Crucial.
Every episode of Outer Banks is like an action mystery movie basically on its own. So how long does filming take for, a season?
About 7 months this year.
6 to 8 depending on what we do. And this year was exceptionally long.
Yeah. And we film at different locations, so that kind of takes a while. We shoot in Barbados and then we shoot in Charleston. And action takes a really long time to film, longer than usual because we have to slow down every sequence and literally our
previs and you have to do rehearsals for stunts and we
have green screen,
whole day of just rehearsal to get the shot right tomorrow.
That's actually a good segue to our next question. So there's a lot of action and just big stunts in a show like this. How do you prepare for those major stunts when it's time to film them?
We have a stunt team, so they're really on it.
Yeah.
So when
Shout
they'll
out
get the
Daniel
script,
Hargreaves. He's our stunt coordinator.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So they'll get the script probably before us, and then they'll already start coordinating us, and then they'll schedule rehearsals and talk with us. Okay, this is what we want to do, and we kind of work at it.
And we just try to make sure and in between that we're in the gym, staying in shape, because you never know what they're gonna ask you to do
on the day.
On the day of, we're swimming basically marathons in the water.
For sure.
We do a lot of swimming in
sure.
the ocean, which is very different than the pool because you're fighting the currents and the waves, and water is the most unpredictable thing we deal with. The weather and the water,
and we're fully clothed.
Yeah, that doesn't help either. I mean,
too.
you're in full jeans and shoes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jump in, I see.
Yep.
Are there any major stunts that jump out to you that you remember from this season that were especially crazy to film?
I love that elevator sequence.
He loves it. I'm afraid of heights, so I definitely had to turn up my Cleo because I had to jump 4 levels.
Yeah.
And I don't even like roller coasters, so I had to turn on my Cleo and then go do the stunt. And we had to jump through an elevator shaft. We did that for a week.
Yeah, that was one of those things where it's we just kind of spent a day or two figuring it out, and then focused in on shooting after that.
Yeah.
But they built this entire set in this huge production house, and we're couple stories, not a couple stories.
Yeah,
we're pretty high
it's
off
4.
the ground.
It was
4 stories up. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
It was a huge.
And we had cameras everywhere, and every time we would have to shoot for a different camera.
Yeah, everybody's hooked in. And,
we're wearing wires,
which is very different than how we started this show. Because most of those stunts we did then were not as wired and involved. It was just kind of getting to it and being gritty about it. It's just cool that we've been able to up it in the ways we have.
So you said you had to turn your Cleo on. So how do you get into character?
I tell myself, what would Cleo do? It's I don't know. From now, I've been doing her luckily for 2 seasons now. So now it's easier for me to just snap into it and just I just get into my stance changes, my body, my accent changes, and I just kind of I just zone out. It's kind of like why I love acting. It's I go into this space where I'm just flying. I'm just like floating when I'm acting. I feel like I'm just like floating.
It's easy, you know.
Yeah.
When you're in it, you're in it. You know?
Yeah.
Especially like, you know, when you put on the clothes and like you got the knife. And
Yeah. It just comes out.
And,
It just comes out. I don't. Now it's like I'm trying to like keep her in.
So how has your character changed since you joined in the second season?
This season, I mean, season 2, you know, you've seen Cleo, you know, she was a bad gal, you know, she was just very tough and like, you know, she didn't really take any prisoners. This year, we're going to see more of Cleo's like inner strength. Like last year, we saw like her like exterior being very strong. This year, we're going to see like more of her inner strength, and we're going to see Cleo's vulnerability side that we have not seen like any of this. So it's a bit of a character shift, truthfully. Like Cleo has a really huge arc this season.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, in the spirit of Valentine's Day, without giving too much away, can you tell us a little bit about like how both of your characters' love life is going to be in the new season?
I mean, I think, you know, definitely seeing the vulnerability side of Cleo, and, you know, Pope's kind of, he's hitting a new, he's been dealing with a lot of failure and rejection in the recent part of his life. And, you know, these two characters kind of, you know, they may help each other work through it in some ways.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's
Without giving too much away.
Yeah.
So I've heard that you just do such an amazing accent. So what is your approach for doing an accent like that in the show?
Can we get a taste? We want a sample.
Oh gosh. Now
Sorry
I'm
to
on the
put you on the
spot.
spot.
Now I'm on the spot. It will come out eventually. Let me see if I can like slip
Yeah,
in.
just so
it's
like putting on, you know, new shoes.
Yeah.
You gotta
I might
wear them out a little bit.
I'll just slide into it probably by the end of this interview. But you know, I have a dialect coach that I work with, and I also spend a lot of hours on YouTube, like watching. Like I literally will look up like Bahamians Day at the Park, and like I'll watch like very random videos like all the time. Also, my family's from the West Indies, so I pull a lot from what I seen growing up, and from Florida. You know, South Florida, like everyone's from the West Indies there. So I just pulled a lot of like that knowledge from that.
Good.
Yeah.
So for anyone new to the series, what are some things about your characters that everyone needs to know, like, that you want to get across through your character?
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen the show before, you know, Pope's the smart one, as they say, but you know, we definitely try to give him more layers than that. You know, he definitely starts off more less aggro to do the crazy stuff that all his friends do, just because he's got a scholarship that he's trying to work for. You know, he's young and gifted, so he can't like mess up too much, or else, you know, that all this stuff that he's worked, because everybody's kind of working their way out of this poverty situation that they find themselves in, and like that's his way out. And you know, so he starts off very very not wanting to do anything, and then you know, slowly but surely, like his loyalty to his friends, his loyalty to kind of his own people in some way, he finds some stuff out about his heritage that kind of quickens him, and kind of brings more of that aggressiveness out of him. And you know, we get to see a lot of different sides of this character. I always say Pope has like a really short temper, and like it comes out of nowhere. Like he'll go off in like a second, and you're like, where in the world did that even come from?
Yeah,
it's because pent up energy.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like he probably just like holds it in so long that when it finally just gets to that point, it just breaks.
How it does.
I can see that. Yeah. Sure.
I feel like we met Cleo. She was extremely independent and living on the streets, and you know, hooked up with these drug dealers, and basically in survival mode and doing what she had to do to really take care of herself. Where now we're going to see her, she's officially a Pogue. You know, she took the Ogue to Pogue. So I think we're going to see this season, like, one, she's out of her element. You know, she's no longer in the West. Well, I guess we do see her a little bit in the Caribbean. But she comes back to the Outer Banks, you know. So we're going to see her, like, not in her element and not having to only rely on herself, you know, how she really is going to fit into the new friend group now. And I feel like she brings, like, the heart of the group. I think she has seen the world and has a lot of experience. So for her, treasure isn't like the money that we're going after. Like for Cleo, treasure is the friendship and the time that we spend amongst each other. And her vision and what she sees is so much more important than like treasure. So I think this season she makes everyone question, you know, why are we really doing this? Like, what is the point of this? Because if we lose our friendship and we get this gold, did we really get the gold? So
Good.
Interesting. I think that translates really well with the cast in real life. From what I can see, it seems like you guys are really close friends and all get along, which some casts you kind of watch the interviews and you can see them just side-eyeing each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. We it's like that's kind of what we established from the start of this whole series. You know, we all came on, you know, together, and that the first kind of days was really just us bonding. It wasn't rehearsals. You know, we might have done like some boat work, some stuff, but we just spent the night at like the chateau. We hung out together. We all stayed in like the same apartment building, and that translated into season 2 and even into this season. You know, even though we don't all live in the same space now, you know, we still always like find time to like go to a single place and all hang out. Go to somebody's house. You know, like have dinner together, like commune, like just be around each other, because you know you see these people every day, all day, and like you know you're doing like one of the coolest jobs you could possibly do. So it's like, you know, you just find a community in each other.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, is there anything that you guys can tease for fans in this for the next season?
I mean, I think you just have to watch and see.
Always more action, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, definitely more action. There's a lot of romance this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
a lot of big surprises, I feel. You know,
Yeah.
they always like to leave off on like cliffhangers, and that doesn't change. So
Yeah.
be very excited to see fans' reactions to all the episode cutoffs. Like, see if they binge it, if they try to space it out. You know, it's like you can kind of watch the show at your own pace.
Yeah.
And it is a lot sometimes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just more of that.
More of that. More of everything you love and a little bit more.
Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of What to Watch.
The new season of Outer Banks premieres on February 23rd on Netflix.